you can answer those 3 questions as a new entrepreneur, I think you'll start off the game in such a better way.
Hey, Cornell Jermaine back here with another video. Listen, it is another Ask Cornell. If you have not seen an Ask Cornell before, Ask Cornell is simply a segment that I do for my viewers, listeners, subscribers, followers, and friends, those who want to pick my brain for leadership, communication, and entrepreneurship wisdom. This particular question this week comes from Taylor Brooks, who is Community Taylor on social media, and the question is this: what are the biggest challenges new entrepreneurs face? And if I had to think upon just my journey and things I've learned, there are a few things that I could say, but I think the biggest challenge for new entrepreneurs is answering 3 major questions, and that is the who, the what, and the why. What does that mean? Who do you want to serve? What do you want to serve them? And why? Most entrepreneurs, if you're like me, when I first started out many years ago, you just wanted to make money. You saw the ability. For me, I was kind of nestled and incubated, I should say, in this community of entrepreneurs where I was able to witness the success and the prosperity of people who worked for themselves. And if I'm quite honest, and if you know my story, I didn't walk into it willingly. I kind of resisted it and didn't want to be bothered with it. And I'm like, it's too much work and this ain't for me. Just give me whatever, a regular 9 to 5 and I'm good, something I can control, something I can understand, and I know what's coming in and what's going out, etc. But I was pushed into it by the hand of God. And I say I was pushed into it because I literally had no other choice. When I started, my only motive was I just want to make money. And while that served me temporarily, as I grew as a business owner, I understood how different my destiny or my trajectory would have been in that particular period had I answered these questions for myself. The who you want to serve is particularly your customer. What you want to serve them is your product or service or both. And the why is the most important. And I have personally found that if you answer the why first, why do you want to go into business? Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Most times that will lead you to the who and that will lead you to the what. I remember when I wrote my first book, Life Abundantly, I had this passion to see God's people walk in the fullness of their birthrights. I had this passion because I had been in the Word, went to seminary, went to school and learned and studied and all this stuff, and I witnessed Christendom and people loving God and serving God with all their heart and doing everything they knew to do to be God's great individual within the church and within the community. But still there was so much lacking, when it became to the walking in the fullness of their promise, walking in the fullness of their birthright. I began to learn these principles and study and utilize them for myself. But it grieved me that others were in the dark as it pertains to some of these things. And I said, what can I offer this particular group of people? So I understood in my why. My why was to help the kingdom understand and better serve their own lives through what they already believed, what they already had a makeup for, which was faith, understanding God's word, right? My why gave me the who. Then all I had to do was figure out the what. Well, what am I going to serve them? Well, at that particular time, it was a book. It took me 3 years to write. As I think about it right now, it was a beautiful thing doing it, but maybe that 3 years, it just seemed like it wouldn't let up. But I knew that as I was writing and as I was developing and researching and doing all the things, it felt like at some points, and I'm laughing now because there were some moments where I felt like, okay, this is it, I'm done. I had all the chapters I had outlined, all of the concepts I had come up with, and then the Lord will say, don't add this. And I'm like, oh my God, what? So anyway, 3 years of toiling over that particular book gave me my why, my who, and my what. And I say that all to say, if you understand the why, it will often lead you to the who and the what. If your why is just to be Instagram famous, looked upon as one who is an influencer, one who got this and got that, and I'm shining, glittering, and gold and all that kind of stuff, if that's your why, it won't serve you long, because there is a certain level of clarity that has to come with a success in business and entrepreneurship. And just having likes and followers and comments and all those things doesn't give you the depth you need to really build a business. Now, your journey may start there, and maybe you'll come into the understanding of what I am talking about now, and you'll be able to define that a little better. And then you can pick up and say, okay, now I understand better what I'm doing here, who I need to be serving, and all of those things. You get what I'm saying? As a new entrepreneur, if you can answer that question right where you are, listen, we're not trying to look deep into the forecast of 15, 20 years from now. While you may have that vision, that's great. But right where you are, who is your customer? What can you serve them? And why do you want to do it? If you can answer those three questions as a new entrepreneur, I think you'll start off the game in such a better way. And it'll make you more appealing to those who may want to support, those who may want to partner, those who may want to recommend or refer you or your product or service to another person. It'll make you that much more attractive. It'll give you the bones and the structure you need to last. Because as you grow in your entrepreneurial journey, you're gonna have to ask that question again. Why am I making this next move? Why am I taking on this partnership? Why am I walking into this opportunity versus the next? What do I need to do here? And who am I gonna be connected to, called to, etc., etc. This question of who, what, and why is gonna follow you throughout your entire entrepreneurial journey. And Taylor, whose question this was, I hope you understand that taking the time now to focus on these three questions and answer them as best as you can will help you in the long run. I hope this has helped you, Taylor. And again, anyone else who is viewing this video, listen, if you have a question, you want to pick my brain about leadership, communication, entrepreneurship, etc., listen, leave your questions in the comments below, or you can DM and email and tag. There's so many forms of communication. Listen, reach out, let me know what your question is, and I will do my best to answer you. Until next time, listen, I'll see you back here, same place, same time next week. Until then, Cornell Jermaine signing off. Take care.